Hello everyone, my name is Lord Veman and welcome to this YouCraft series of Minecraftness. In this series I will not be doing any sort of let's play. No, instead I will be explaining to you people, to you fine folk, how to set up and manage a Minecraft server. This will be a guide to work with Bukkit and all plugins associated with Bukkit. Well, not all of them, but I will cover most important ones and such. So what will I do in this series? Well, three things. For one, I will be doing a tutorial showing you how to set up everything and make sure that everything works. Second of all, I will be handing out useful tips. Sometimes, well, mostly I will just say some tips during the tutorials and such, but there might be some videos just dedicated to certain tips on how to administrate successfully and yeah, just how to be better and more awesome, even though you are so very awesome already. Yeah. And third of all, I will be showcasing several plugins. Starting with the more known one, the major plugins that will make sure that your server is working perfectly and safely and securely. After that, I might showcase some plugins that I find interesting or that you might suggest to me to explain a little bit further. You know, you might have found this one plugin, but you don't know how to work with it. Well, in this series, might be able to help you and show it to you. Okay, so for this first video, we're going to do the very most basic of basicness. We will just be setting up a Bukkit server for personal use, covering the server properties file and showing how to get on your own server, as that is not always as obvious to some people. So yeah, really the basic of the most basic stuff will be covered in this one video, and then we'll see where we go from there. There are two major platforms to host your server on. One is the Minecraft server supplied by Minecraft.net itself. Let's see if I can find it quickly. I should have opened this before, but I just thought about showing it right now, and I cannot find it. No, I don't want the website minecraftservers.net. Well, anyway, you don't want to use the one supplied by Minecraft. Even though it will always be up to date, you won't be able to do pretty much anything with it. It's fine if you just like wanna experience Minecrafting with your friends and such, but if you wanna do anything major or like change the entire experience or add to it with plugins and such, you will not be able to do so with a regular Minecraft server. Instead, you want to use the Bukkit. So you go to this website, bukkit.org, and it will bring you to the Bukkit homepage, where they talk about their releases and such. You know, in these nice sort of tweet-like messages. For now, there is a beta build. Yeah, appears to be a beta build of 1.4.6. What's the problem with beta builds? Yeah, well, see, they explain it here as well. It's like not yet fully recommended. Some stuff might not all be working as they expected. It has not been tested as extensively as it should, so use at your own risk. It's better than a development build, which, like, in all caps is completely unsupported. But if you want to be safe and sure that everything is working sort of fine, you want to go with a recommended build, like we've been installing now. So you notice this one video is already pretty much outdated once it gets out. You know, this will be how to set up 1.4.5 recommended build 1. Yeah. right. But luckily that doesn't matter, as the way to go about things will most likely still be the same now as it will be in a few months. It will be the same procedure, and it will most likely generate the same amount of files and folders, and it will all look pretty much the same. Even though some stuff might get added later on, the differences won't be all too noticeable. Alright, let's get our bucket out. So click on the button, or not really a button, but on the text get craft bucket. Plugins will be covered later on. I clicked on it. There we go. This will bring you to the wiki page. Most importantly, will be the setting up a server page. Now I will be covering how to do it with Windows only. If you're really serious about it, you might want to run a server on Linux, but then it will most likely also be a dedicated server, so that's not for the everyday kind of guy. And well, if you have a Mac, yeah, well, jeez, why do you have a Mac? No, just no. Alright, let's go. Not that I have anything against Mac as an OS. Let's just, man, I've already alienated like so much percent of our viewers. Sorry, please don't go. Well, when you get to this little text, there's only one part that really stands out. There's one link. Well, actually, this is the one that stands out, but there's only one link. Craft Bukkit recommended build. You want to click that, and it will open up a download window. At least if you're on Chrome. On Internet Explorer, it will be something like in the bottom, and if you run Firefox, then it will most likely automatically download it into your downloads folder, so that's where you want to go. Let's just save this on the desktop for now. Let me already give you the first tip of the series. Never ever put anything besides a shortcut on the desktop, ever, even though I see that this is not a shortcut, dang it. It makes it very prone and very fragile. It can be easily prone to be easily deleted accidentally, and if it's like a large amount of folders and files that might not fit in the recycle bin, the computer just says, well, okay, you want this permanently deleted. I've had that happen once with some files and folders I did not exactly want to lose, yet I was stupid enough to put them like right on the desktop, and I accidentally deleted them when cleaning up the desktop. So you don't want to do that. I speak from experience. Just no, you don't want it. If you really want easy access on your desktop, make a shortcut. For anything else, just put it on your C drive or in your documents or whatever. Just never put raw files on your desktop. And it also makes the desktop file larger, which makes the boot time longer. So your computer actually takes longer to start up if you have a lot of clutter and large files on your desktop. So yeah, that's a nice little tip for you. So we're going to move this in a folder that I've designated Bukkit tutorial project. Actually, I'm going to make a new folder for it. The Bukkit. Nope, the Bukkit. This is in my video. I have like all my project files in my videos folder in my library. And since this is a video project, I put it in here. Alright, so this will be the folder where we'll keep all our Bukkit stuff. Now what do we want to do? We want to go back to this one web page, and the other thing that like was immediately noticed are these two lines of command code. These are the type of codes you would type in your command terminal. Like, yeah, this thing. So we are going to want to copy this over and put it in a text file for now. So open up Notepad. Another tip, use Notepad++, not regular Notepad. You'll thank me later, really. So copy this over, paste, and then save this. Save as, not there. Videos, Bukkit tutorial, yes. You want to save this as a batch file. There we go, batch file. So that's pretty much, see, you already have the other extension, CMD, that will open up the command prompt and like quickly parse all the lines in the file, and it will execute them. So you don't always have to type them out manually, which would be really annoying if you see, like, if you want to type this manually every time you want to start up your server. This is not a lot, but it can get worse, especially like if you're on Linux. It's already 4 lines. On Mac it's 3. Ha, win. So you want to optimize that as much as possible. We're going to call it, as they usually do, we'll just run. Yeah, there we go, run.pad. It doesn't have to be called run, really, but that's what usually is done. See, now it knows that it's a batch file and even color code stuff, so like awesome. Okay, back in your main folder, you now have your craft bucket, your Bukkit file, Java file, and your batch file. I forgot something. If I go too fast now in my explaining of everything, and you don't really comprehend, or you can't really follow when you try to like copy me doing stuff, because I can, like, sometimes I can think of stuff pops up into my mind, and then I'm going like, oh yeah, this stuff, and then I throw away what I'm doing and go to another project. That might be confusing, so try to watch this video first. That applies to all the other videos in the series, so try to watch it first, try to comprehend it, and then after watching it once, maybe watch it again and follow what I do, so then you have a better idea on what's coming, like, before it actually happens, and that's useful. Anyway, this thing should not be just craft_bucket.jar, unless you call this jar is the extension of the Java file. Java stores everything in jars. They're cookie jars. Anyway, it has to match this name. So this is craft_bucket 1.4.5 or 1. Either you rename this to craft_bucket.jar or you rename this to the full version as it stands there. I prefer to rename this, even though it is maybe slightly less handy, but this way you will always like immediately see what version you're running just from the file name on its own. So you can save this, and then when you double click run, it will open up command prompt, your console, and then start loading the jar file, and then it will generate all sorts of folders and files that you'll need later on. See it loading, and it is done in 14 seconds. Not bad. It can be better though. Going to stop it for now, because as you see in the beginning, you have this like ugly command line, something that I prefer not to have there. So you can, that's personal preference, you don't really have to do it, but if you just put echo off as first line, then it will stop echoing the commands through and just load the jar file without bothering you with all this nonsense. So you don't get that anymore. So as you see, if you open it up, Now it just starts with loading up the recipes, and it isn't bothered with anything else now. It starts up a lot faster now because it doesn't have to generate all this stuff and check for its existence. Well, it checks for its existence, but it doesn't have to generate it, which it likes. Right, now, server properties file. This is one of the most important files if you first start off. You want this configured properly, and then you want to move on to plugins. So, Happy Christmas, by the way. Let's go over these quickly. So, generator settings, what does that do? You can use it to customize super flat world generation. It's not that important as you start off, but I don't know. I suppose you can look into that if you want. If you start off, I would just ignore this. It is not all too useful. Allow Nether speaks for itself. You can go to the Nether or not. Level name. This is the name of the default world that will be loaded first. Bang level world, as you can see. As you can also see, these three folders apply to this world. It's called world, its own Nether, and its own end. If you change this name to, say, load up a custom map or something, you'll have to put the folder of the map in here and then rename it to the name of the folder. Enable query. That's also not all too important. It enables some other server protocol listeners to get information about the server. Might be useful if you want to integrate it with a website or such. But for now, not at all important. Allow flights, pretty straightforward. Allow people to use Zombies Fly mod and such to fly around the server. There are plugins to better control this. So when you do have these plugins, so that you can decide who can fly and who won't be able to fly, you want to put this to true. Otherwise, if you have no issue with people flying, also put it to true, otherwise put it to false. Server port, that will be the port through which the server sends and receives data on your computer. The default one, 25565, should be correct. You shouldn't mess with that. Level type, what does that do? I have to check for myself. It's set to default. Oh yeah, you can also set it to flat or large biomes. So default, it will just generate a regular world. Flat, it will generate a flat world. And large biomes will generate a normal world, but with larger, more extensive biomes than the default one. Enable remote connection will enable people to access the console from a remote location through remote access. If you're on a server at home and you don't want people to mess with your console from a different computer, then I suggest you put this to false. Level seeds, pretty straightforward. You have the same with just single player. This will determine how your world is generated, which was seed. Server IP, leave this blank if you don't completely know what to do with it. If you really want to pin an IP to it, say it isn't using your Hamashi one. If you're linking your server with Hamashi, then you might want to force it using a specific IP. Otherwise, leave it blank and it will most likely choose the correct one. Maximum build height, that's how high you can build. Okay. Spawn NPCs, also pretty straightforward. Whitelisting, there's this one little text file called whitelist. In there you can put Minecraft names, and everyone who is in the list can join the server, otherwise they'll get a message stating you're not whitelisted on the server and they get immediately kicked. Spawn animals, will there be animals? Snooper, those are the the Minecraft snooper, gathering data from your server and then sent to Minecraft for like sort of analysis, to make sure that all their stuff is still working correctly. You can put it to true, let Minecraft know what's going on. That's usually good. Helps them a lot, I suppose. Hardcore, if you put this to true, if someone dies, they will get permanently banned. Kind of drastic, but yeah, it's hardcore. Texture pack forces someone to use a specific texture pack. Put a link here to the texture pack location, so that people know which one it is, pretty much. Must be direct to a zip file. Not to like a web page, but to an actual zip file. Online mode, if you put this to true, then every time someone connects or tries to connect, the server will connect to the Minecraft servers, asking, does this player actually exist? Is he registered? Is he legit? And if so, can he log on or not? If you put this to false, anyone can log in with any name, with any type of Minecraft, either premium, like bot, or a cracked version. Usually it's a good idea to put this to true. A lot of danger and a lot of bad things can happen if you just allow anyone to log on. PvP. Do you want people to kill each other? Pretty much. Difficulty. Let's see. 1 is easy, 0 is peaceful, 2 is normal, and 3 is hard. Game modes, 0 is survival, 1 is creative, 2 is adventure. Maximum amount of players, this is the maximum amount of players that can join before the server says it's full. You can go really high with this, it's an integer number. It can go from 1 to, like, what is it? What's the maximum? It's a lot. It's a 3, 6, 9, it's a 10-digit number. But when will you ever have a 10-digit number of people on your server at one time? I don't think that will ever happen. To be frank, it is kind of unlikely. Do you want monsters to be to spawn or not? The view distance, that is how much data is sent to one client at a time. If you put this lower, then people will be forced to lower their view distance because they won't get any more data from the server. Usually 10 works fine. If you have a lot of lag, you might want to consider like tuning that down. Generate structures like the temples and the pyramids and villages and all that. And the MOTD is the message people get, like when you add a Minecraft server to your Minecraft multiplayer list. Like the top line is the name that you gave to that server. The bottom line is the IP address, and then in the middle you have the MOTD. By default it's a Minecraft server, which is pretty vague, so let's just put Lord Freeman's Bukkit tutorial. There we go. Typing is kind of awkward with this like camera right in front of me, so yeah. Don't say I type slowly, you bastard. Okay, so that's about it for the server properties file. Now let's try to connect to the server. We're going to restart it once more to make sure that the properties have parsed successfully. So we just type in console stop. That will save everything, save the players, save the worlds, close everything successfully, and then quietly shut down the server. You don't just want to like cross kill the process, like do it with a task manager or anything. No, just type in stop and it will gently shut down. Oh yeah, I forgot something. If you have any other like Java errors in the console when you start up. It's most likely because you either don't have the correct version of Java installed, which is unlikely, as you most likely be able to play Minecraft, or the server is kind of confused at which version of Java to use if you have a lot of different Java files or different Java versions installed at the same time. It's kind of a mess. So, for example, if you want to identify this problem, you can go into Control Panel, then Programs, Features, and Installed Programs, and then a good idea is to order by publisher, then you have them all quickly or closely to each other. So these are the Javas I have currently installed on my PC. It's already slightly too much than is useful. But I've seen worse cases where people really like have pretty much every version of Java installed, and that's not so good. You kind of want it organized, neatly packed. The ones you definitely want is Java 7. That's pretty much the only one. If you see that it's a big mess, or you're still getting Java errors, you might just want to uninstall all of them, then go to the install or to the main homepage. Again, I should have opened this before, not have to look for it right now. Obviously, it immediately detects that I'm from a Dutch-speaking community and thus put it into Dutch. Most people won't be able to read this. Wonderful. Anyway, you want to go to java.com. Maybe I can like put this to UK or something. You stupid. No. Okay. Alright, there will most likely be a download button, so you like download, you can read this, Java download, and that will take you to the download page. Make sure you download the correct one, the one if you are running Windows, pick the Windows one, get the latest ones. It's already update 10, I think I had update, wait, where? Yeah, the update 7, I'm lagging behind in updates. Anyway, download it, make sure you have the correct bit version. There are 32 as well as 64-bit Windowses. Is that even a word? Windowses. Plentiful of Windows here. It's already plural. Different types of Windows. Make sure that you get the correct version of Java. When unsure, you most likely have the 64 bits, as that is most common nowadays. But if you have an old computer, then it might be possible that you have a 32-bit system. So yeah, try to get the correct one. Anyway, that's my little rant about Java, and make sure that you have the correct version. Now let's try just to connect to the server. Okay, let's load it up. Oh, it's already done. Okay. Go into Minecraft. Merry Christmas. Multiplayer. Oh, so few people online. Must be the time. I don't know. Even though it's, yeah, it's kind of early, I suppose. Alright, let's just direct connect for now. Now, we're not going to cover IP addresses just yet, because, yeah, there are different ways to do that. I suppose we'll do that in the next video, as it's also rather important. You know, if you run a server, you want people to find you and to be able to connect to you. But for now, just to make sure that everything works, we're going to type in 0.0.0.0, and that pretty much translates to home. I think home even works as well, not sure, but this will work. Join server, logging in, there we go. And that's my IP address over there. I'll have to cover that up. Apparently a lot of new stuff is available for me. Maybe I should update my mods. Achilles, update the YouCraft box, damn it. Anyway, as you can see in the console, I logged in. at this location in world. If I say something now, like lol, just put it in chat, and it's put into the console as well. Time, info, name, message. So yeah, actually this goes pretty well. I did not expect this to run this well. I mean, I'm running Minecraft, I'm running a server, I'm recording. I have like an ungodly amount of Chrome tabs open. Yeah, I think that about covers the basics. You should now be able to get Bukkit, open up a server, and connect to your own server, and then you should be happy. Like, you have a server. Oh my god, no one can connect to you, but you have a server already. Ow, that hurt. Let's fly around, but I think flight was disabled, so let's OP myself. Oh my god, I'm now an OP. Nope. Can I fly it? Yeah, there we go. Ha, didn't detect it. So yeah, if you type in that command into console, then you can say, I am an OP on a server. Yes. Wow. Awesome. Alright. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, more Bukkit stuff will come in the future. And next video will cover most likely Hamashi and port forwarding, I suppose. And then people can connect. Alright, see ya.